It pleased Darius to set over the kingdom 120 satraps. And well, as we saw last week, the Persians and the Medes enter Babylon and conquered it, as prophesied, as interpreted by Daniel through what was written on the wall by the hand of the angel. So now it is Darius who appears instead of the Babylonian kings. Darius means sovereign, and the fact that he decided to place 120 leaders pretty much around his kingdom has to do with the fact that Yahweh told us in Genesis that there would be 120 jubilees. Well, he didn't say it like that. In Genesis 6:3, it says, "And Yahweh said, My spirit shall not strive with man forever, for he is indeed flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years." So from this verse, mainly in Hebrew, we get several revelations, three specific revelations which are really important. One, which is the literal, obviously, that Yahweh gave 120 literal years to Noah for him to build the ark and preach, so that they would have a time to repent. But then the flood came because they didn't believe. The other interpretation has to do with what is taught in Judaism regarding reincarnation as a revelation to Noah that he would reincarnate later on, and then he would live 120 extra years, or he would live 120 years exactly the next time he would appear on this earth and take flesh. And it's taken from the fact that it basically is talking to Noah and is saying, "My spirit shall not strive with man forever, for he is indeed flesh." So that is taken as, "For indeed your flesh will last 120 years," meaning in another time. And when Moshe came, he lived 120 years exactly. So that is why it is taken as a prophecy that Yahweh was telling Noah that he would reincarnate as Moshe. What is interesting about that, well, many things are interesting about that, but a couple things is that Yahushua HaMashiach told us that the coming of the Son of Man, which is the second coming, would be as the days of Noah. So just as Noah was preaching about the end times of his time, the prodigal son, the witness like Moshe, will preach for, in this case, 3.5 years, as seen in Revelation 11, mainly 3.5 years. 1,260 days, as found in Revelation 11. So 1,200 is pretty close to seeing the 120. 1-2 is what I mean. First, the world would last 120 jubilees. Just like Yahweh gave 120 years to the time of Noah, he would give 120 jubilees to humanity as a whole. So just like when Noah came, he was given 120 years. That was to show us that from the time of Adam until the Son of Man, who would come as in the days of Noah, there would be 120 jubilees. 120 jubilees would be 120 times 50, because a jubilee is 50 years. 120 years, 120 jubilees. A jubilee is 50 years, so 120 times 50 is 6,000 years, which shows what we see throughout scriptures also, that Yahweh made the world in 7 days to show us that it would last 7 millenniums. And he gave rest on the 7th because he would rest on the 7th millennium. So everything regarding sin has to end by the end of the 6th millennium, which is the one we are finishing at the moment, since Messiah came by the year 4000 as the son of, as the light of the world, would be the son of righteousness, Malachi 4:2. He came as the light of the world. That's why by the 4th millennium. And 2,000 years later, 2 days later, as prophesied in Hosea, he would appear as the Son of Man. For the light of the world, the sun was created on the 4th day, and the man, Adam, was created on the 6th day. So that's why he would appear twice as the light of the world on the 4th millennium, and then at the end of the 6th as the Son of Man by the end of the 120 jubilees. So there would be 40 jubilees from Messiah's first coming to his second coming. 40 jubilees to represent also the 40 years in the desert that the Israelites were going around because of the golden calf and because of the spies that didn't believe that they could enter and take over the land. So, as I was saying, then 120 throughout scriptures is always connected with this verse, Genesis 6:3, and the end times. So 120, every time you see 120 in scriptures, has to do with the end times, with times like the times of Noah, in which he was given 120 years.